Hey guys, I just wanted to come and talk to you about some tips I had on how to raise emotionally healthy and stable little black boys as a single mom. As most of you know, and per my YouTube channel title, I'm a yoga instructor and a mom. I am a single mom of an 8-year-old little boy. And just a little background about me. I had him very young. I think 2019. I don't know. I'm not gonna do the math and tell my age, but I had him young, and I basically came from a very dysfunctional background, as most black people do. Um, and I pretty much I didn't have anyone to tell me how or teach me how to be a parent. I pretty much have been freestyling through this journey the entire time. But, as I've grown in my yoga practice and mindfulness and meditation, things, wisdom just started coming to me, and things just came to me on what makes sense and what's right for a healthy child, for a healthy mental development and emotional development. And as some of you know, I'm starting my training to be certified in mindfulness and meditation this summer, so I'm doing that. But some of the tips that I want to share with you is just between me and some that me and my son do. We do this on a regular basis, and it's very helpful for us because he is a fatherless little boy. His father is not present, is absent. So, it's things you have to do to make sure that they're still healthy, and that the trauma doesn't set in too heavy on them as they become adults. So, one of the things that me and my son do is journaling. Yes, we journal together. So I don't have it with me right now, but I purchased this journal from Amazon called Mom and Me. It's for a mom and the son. I think she may have some like for mom and daughters or whatever else you may be thinking of. I mean, if you have a daughter or anything, because my tips can be used for any child or any gender, not just a mom and a son. It can be used for a son and a dad and a son, and a dad and a daughter type of situation. But my experience is with the son, so I'm sharing you my experience. So we journal. We use the Mom and Me journal. And the Mom and Me journal is what inspired me to make this video and what inspired me to do what I do for the tips and whatnot. But the journal asks, small questions, little questions like, hey, when was the last time you were upset with your mom? What did she do? Type of thing. And then it asks the mom a question. The mom has to write it down and answer it. And the child has to write it down and answer it. And it gives you that window of opportunity to talk about things and provide perspectives to the child if they're not understanding what occurred in that moment, because a lot of times as parents we just keep this superiority complex as a parent, as an adult, and we forget that we are developing actual humans with emotions, right? We look at our kids like they're not humans with emotions. We're just like, I'm the mom, I'm the adult, you do what I say, and I don't have to explain anything to you, why I whip you, or why I fussed at you, and why I yelled at you, and why I made you mad, We have that superiority complex, and that's what begins to damage a child. So that journal is very helpful to kind of have that dialogue with your child and to communicate and talk. Second tip is like just giving a healthy perspective to whatever your child is feeling, right? I'm gonna give you an example. For example, quarterly, not a lot, I asked my son how he feels about his dad. How does he feel about the absence of his dad not being there and things like that. We don't go into deeply, in-depth questions yet, because right now he doesn't think too much about it. He's just like, yeah, he's awesome or whatever when he does see him, which, whenever he does. So he doesn't think anything too bad about it. And I don't push him to think anything better. I'm definitely not one of those moms that's like, your dad's nothing, he's a deadbeat, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't do that. We don't do that in my household. We don't do that in my family. I don't allow my family to do that. That's not something that we do. So when I ask him these questions, he's telling me, hey, I don't think anything or whatever, whatever. But it's going to get to a point where he is going to try to analyze the situation and try to figure out why. You know, his mind's going to start asking him why. Because if anyone has not had their father in their life and their father was alive, you went through that process of, why didn't my dad do this and why didn't my dad do that for me and why he wasn't in my life. You know, it basically wasn't any excuse for you not. The reason we got that way was because we were left to freestyle and figure out the answer to our questions in our heads, right? When we actually had an adult, we had a mom there that could have answered them for us, but maybe she was too emotionally balled up in the situation that she couldn't give a healthy perspective either, right? So that's where the trauma begins. That's where I believe the trauma begins. When we leave a child helpless in the midst of trying to analyze and figure out why a certain thing happened, or even internalize it on themselves as if they're not adequate enough or good enough for the father to want them. Because I recall having that moment as a child. I recall seeing my dad take care of my other siblings at 100%, yet nothing for me, or specs here and there during the holidays for me. And I began to internalize, like, as if I wasn't good enough. You know, why am I not good enough for you to take care of me? Why did you say you were going to come and get me? You never showed up. You know what I mean? But I never had that relationship with my mom or any adult in my life to get a healthy perspective with that. So I was left to begin to build insecurities and to begin to build self-esteem issues, right? That's where I'm going with this. So with my son, we get to that point, you know, I will begin to ask him, hey, how do you feel about seeing your dad be a father to other kids? How does that make you feel? And we're gonna share that dialogue with each other, and I'm gonna express to him and tell him how it made me feel to witness that when my dad did it, and how it made me cry, and how it hurt my feelings, so he know that his feelings are okay to have. You know, they're natural, and just to know that his question is that you can't prevent them from, I guess, hurting or feeling something from the situation, but you can provide them a healthy outlook for it, to where they don't begin to bottle it up and it affects their relationships with friends and with, I guess, girls or whatever, you know, and jobs and things like that, you know, because you're going to start feeling inadequate. You're going to start comparing yourself to people at work. I mean, it affects you in so many ways. And to have that dialogue with your child is what's going to prevent that from happening. And just communicate with them, just talk to them, just check in on them. I mean, even when it comes to school stuff, I mean, a lot of you know I'm about to transition to homeschool. We've had a lot of issues with public school, but that's another blog, or that's another video. But just talk to your child, please. Just talk to them. Just build that relationship, because we don't want to continue to build emotionally, or guys that shut down emotionally when they're going through stuff. I mean, I know some of you ladies can attest to the fact that you've been with a guy that just shuts down when he's going through something and he doesn't want to talk about it. Mainly, I mean, it's probably because of that, right? They didn't have that connection with anyone growing up. So begin to communicate. Start journaling with your child. Start checking in with them. And this begins to allow them to be mindful too. This is a mindful practice. So this teaches them how to acknowledge what they're feeling, where it's coming from, and to ask questions about it. So he's like, hey, Mom, my feelings is really hurt about the thought of whatever. Can we talk about it? That's mindfulness. That's being aware of your emotions instead of lashing out, being angry, or becoming violent and things like that. So, Yes, mothers, please. Single moms, please. I'm your advocate. I am here to answer any questions that I can offer. You know, it's just so important. We can't continue this downward spiral for our black men in this generation. So I hope my two little tips help for journaling and providing healthy perspectives to questions and conversations. Please start that, just small, just just small little specks of things. Invite your child in your room as you're getting ready for bed at night or something. Just sit on the bed and talk. Say, hey, just come talk to me. How are things going in school? That was just a good experience for us to have. Okay, I'm done rambling. I just wanted to come in and share that with you and hope that you guys would start doing that for your little boys, and don't let them fall through the cracks. Like, we can do this. We can stop this from happening. We can stop the single parent fall from or downward spiral from happening, and we can raise healthy little boys as well. I have other tips and things to share with you guys, but that was just my little two that kind of sparked in my head. I was like, oh my God, I gotta record this video and share this with people. So yeah, that's what I did. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, stay connected with me, and we're gonna do this, ladies. We're gonna do this. Bye.